Now, Sombid Guha of class 11 will present a speech in English on the topic Hinduism in the eyes of Swami Vivekananda. Let us reflect on how Swamiji represented our ancient religion to the world with dignity and strength. So, I would like to invite Sombid Guha on the podium for his speech.
Not in idols carved of stone, nor chance in lifeless stone, but in the heart where duty breathes and soul through service silently seats. Barriers and boundaries not to see, and all are one in deep decree. Not in rites that blind the flame, but in love that knows no name. Good morning, everyone. Today, I speak not merely as a student of history or religion, but as a student of thought. And my subject is the eternal flame of Hinduism as seen through the eyes of one of its brightest torches, Swami Vivekananda. Swamiji was not merely a monk. He was a philosopher in motion, a poet in saffron, an ancient truth, a bridge between those ancient truths and modern minds. And to him, Hinduism was never just a religion. He did not believe in narrowness disguised as orthodoxy. Instead, he believed in truth, in reason, and above all, in human dignity. He once declared, each soul is potentially divine. The goal is to manifest this divinity within. Swamiji presented Hinduism as a religion of universal acceptance, not mere tolerance. In his historic speech in 1893 at the World Parliament of Religions in Chicago, he said, "We not only believe in universal tolerance, but we accept all religions as true." This was not arrogance, this was profound spiritual confidence. Swamiji understood that Hinduism was a system wide enough to include every valid path to truth. At a time when religious conflict was rampant in the world, when people argued about what was right and what was wrong, Swamiji presented Hinduism as the perfect model of harmony. When others asked, who is the one God? Swamiji replied, why one God? Why not see God in all? And yet, he was no blind defender of tradition. He attacked the caste system fearlessly and boldly attacked it. He condemned meaningless superstition and said, religion has become a bundle of meaningless and superstitious talks. At a time when British colonialism had injected inferiority into Indian minds, he reminded us of our heritage. He said, we are the children of heroes. We are the descendants of sages. On our shoulders lies the sole responsibility of carrying forward the light of Dharma. This was Hinduism with a spine, with service as worship. This in a single line was his vision of Hinduism, not as a rule book handed down by tradition, but as an inward journey where the temple is the heart and the deity is our highest self. At a time when British colonialism had injected inferiority into Indian minds, Swamiji not only reminded us of our heritage, but also redefined what religion meant for us. He redefined what God meant for us. What is God? God is not merely a being sitting on a throne beyond the clouds, but He is the name we give to the highest moral ideals we can imagine. When we speak of God, we speak of truth that never wavers, compassion without condition, justice that is not blind, and strength that serves without pride. We do not worship God out of fear, but because in that idea lies the fullest version of what is noble in us. In a sense, God is the best version of ourselves, stretched beyond the limits of ego. In the luminous soul of Swamiji stirred the eternal idea of Advaita Vedanta, an idea where all duality is dissolved like mist before the morning sun. He did not believe in a divinity that dwelled perched beyond the clouds, but he spoke of a divinity that dwells in every heart. For him, the self was not confined in flesh, but it was one with the boundless Brahma. With words aflame with spirit, he encouraged mankind to rise beyond caste, beyond creed, beyond the illusion of separation, and to rise to the grandeur of their own divinity. He said, the Vedanta is not mere metaphysics, but it is a gospel of strength, fearlessness, and unity, and a sacred mirror of the One. So what is Hinduism in the eyes of Swamiji? It is not division, but exclusive acceptance. It is not passivity, but strength. It is not only worshipping God, but also serving mankind. Now, I would like to vocalize a few words which would support my oration as truth in its purest form. Dharma Veda Bhanjana Bundi Jagata Bandhana Dharma Veda Bhanjana Bundi Jagata Bandhana Jnana Bhakati Vitarane Jnana Bhakati Vitarane Nara Sharira Dharana Bundi Jagata Bandhana. This song describes the very existence of Swamiji as the destroyer of false creeds and lies, who wears a human form of might, who spreads wisdom's radiant light, to whom the world in homage cries. It is the belief that the divine is not up in the sky, but it is within us. That we are not broken sinners begging for mercy, but we are sleeping gods waiting to be awakened. My friends, in a world that desperately needs light, may we see Hinduism as Swamiji did, not as a wall, but as a window. And maybe not just chant his words, but also try to live them. Thank you.
Thank you, Sombid, for such a marvelous presentation.